Welcome, Seeker. This is timeline 5 of our story. If you wish to start from the very beginning, you will find a link in the description. The profound experiences of the past few days had left an indelible mark upon your soul. A constant hum now resonated within you, a reflection of the extraordinary reality you now inhabited. And always, an unsettling question lingered, the memory of a mysterious figure, shrouded in a dark, heavy hood, who seemed to glide through the very fabric of existence unnoticed by others, yet whose words hinted at layers of purpose far beyond any visible structure. My organization, seeking an operative with your particular skill set, a much larger game. Their words echoed, a persistent ripple in your mind, suggesting a secret hand operating within the deepest shadows of the occult world. The very anonymity of their presence, the way they hid in plain sight, suggested a power that did not seek recognition, only influence. Over the next few days you sought a quiet space, a sanctuary where the weight of recent revelations could be processed. Your chronosensory perception, honed by your time displacement, made you uniquely attuned to subtle energies, to the whispers of intent that others missed. That mysterious figure's energy had been too distinct, too calculating, to be merely an ordinary encounter. They remained an enigma, a phantom presence that had singled you out, and your curiosity now gnawed at you, demanding answers. One brisk London afternoon, you found yourself drawn to the hushed sanctity of the British Museum. Its grand neoclassical facade, a temple to human knowledge, loomed over you, majestic and imposing, its very stones seeming to absorb and radiate centuries of accumulated wisdom. Inside, the sheer scale was breathtaking. You passed through echoing halls filled with colossal Egyptian sculptures, their silent gazes fixed on millennia past, then moved through galleries displaying intricate Roman mosaics, the haunting marble forms of Greek gods, and the delicate craftsmanship of ancient Mesopotamian artifacts. The air, cool and dry, hummed with the weight of countless relics, each imbued with the silent stories of vanished civilizations, a veritable repository of humanity's shared esoteric heritage. You sought refuge in the quietude of its famed reading room, a circular sanctuary beneath a soaring dome, its towering shelves crammed with hundreds of thousands of volumes, each a repository of human thought. The hushed whispers of scholars turning pages, the soft scratching of pens, created a unique auditory tapestry, a symphony of quiet intellectual pursuit. You settled at a secluded dark wood desk, ostensibly studying a massive leather-bound volume on obscure ancient scripts, but your senses were acutely alert, your inner ear listening for any subtle resonance of that particular unseen presence. The low, diffused light filtering through the high windows created an atmosphere of contemplation, a perfect crucible for deep thought and clandestine encounters. You barely registered the shadow that fell over your page, until a low, resonant voice, subtly devoid of clear gender or age, addressed you. It seemed to come from just behind your shoulder, yet vibrated with an unnerving proximity, a presence that had materialized from the very silence of the room. A connoisseur of forgotten wisdom, I see, a most suitable pursuit for one of your unique capabilities. You looked up, your heart giving a start. The hooded figure stood there, their face still completely obscured by the deep shadow of their cowl. They had approached without a sound, their presence manifesting as if from a subtle displacement of the air, rather than a physical movement. The other scholars bent over their texts, their heads bowed in concentration, seemingly oblivious to the figure standing beside your chair, their focus unbroken. This was no mere trick of light, they were truly hiding in plain sight, a master of spiritual camouflage, their existence a well-guarded secret. Your journey has been eventful, the hooded figure continued, their voice a soft, almost hypnotic murmur. The various paths you have explored, the individuals you have encountered, they are but tributaries to a larger river. The established esoteric structures that one might encounter are merely places of learning, certainly, for those who seek personal spiritual evolution. But there are far greater currents at play, are there not? Currents that shift the very tides of civilization, currents that mere ritualistic practice or individual gnosis can barely touch. You felt a surge of both apprehension and intense intrigue. This confirmed your suspicions. This was the same enigmatic figure you had encountered before. "Who are you?" you asked, your voice low, barely audible above the rustle of turning pages from other desks. "And what organization did you speak of that operates beyond these visible structures?" The figure chuckled softly, a sound like dry leaves rustling, devoid of humor, yet conveying a knowing amusement. "My designation within these public circles is irrelevant. As for my organization, consider us the unseen architects, the patient gardeners of human potential. We operate within the very fabric of existence, through and beyond the visible structures you perceive. We are the ones who decode the deeper ciphers, the unwritten laws, the true foundations upon which all esoteric knowledge is built. Indeed, centuries ago, it was the work of my predecessors, and through their legacy, my own hand, that pieced together certain fragmented cipher manuscripts, ancient Rosicrucian scrolls, scattered fragments of forgotten knowledge, revealing the hidden blueprint that ultimately allowed certain established esoteric fellowships to coalesce, to reignite a flicker of ancient light in this modern age. But even then, it was understood to be merely a necessary stepping stone, a visible front for a much grander, more subtle work, one that operates on a different scale, a global, species-wide canvas. They leaned closer, their voice dropping to an almost inaudible whisper, yet every word resonated within your mind, with crystalline clarity. My lineage, you see, stretches back through centuries, through traditions that whisper of ancient Bavarian forests and philosophical brotherhoods, who sought not merely personal enlightenment, but tangible influence over the course of human destiny. We are the quiet observers, the strategic movers, working in the deepest shadows of the visible world, through layers of other organizations, academic, political, even what some might call fraternities. We seek not to rule overtly, but to guide, to elevate humanity beyond its self-imposed limitations, to steer the grand experiment of civilization towards its ultimate glorious potential. We are the true guardians of the great work, not as a personal spiritual journey, but as a global species-wide transformation. We are the pragmatists of the esoteric, a clandestine network of minds focused on the long game, on ensuring humanity reaches its zenith. A cold, analytical chill touched your spine. This was a revelation far more profound than any ritual or cryptic conversation. This was a force that thought on a scale of centuries, manipulating unseen levers, weaving itself into the very tapestry of power and influence. "And what does this have to do with me?" you managed, your voice tight. "You spoke of my skill set." "Indeed," the hooded figure replied, a faint, almost imperceptible shift in their posture, suggesting satisfaction. "Word travels, even through the densest temporal currents. Whispers reached us, mere fragments at first of an individual, an anomaly, capable of temporal displacement. An individual not bound by the linearity of cause and effect as others are. An individual who carries within them a peculiar understanding of temporal flow, a gift that allows for direct interaction with artifacts that bend the very fabric of time. This, Seeker, got our interest. Your timepiece, if the rumors are to be believed, is not merely a mechanism, but a nexus, a key. A unique asset, capable of breaching chronological barriers that are otherwise impenetrable. Such a talent is incredibly rare, almost singular in this age, and holds immense value for our objectives." They paused, allowing the weight of this implication to settle. Your time machine was not just a means of personal escape or curiosity. It was now explicitly presented as a tool of immense strategic value to an organization that thought in terms of epochs, a force to be deployed. Your reactions, your habits, the inclinations of your thoughts when faced with the extraordinary. We needed to confirm your intent, to discern if your nature aligns with the profound purpose required for the great work we envision. Your genuine curiosity, your intellectual rigor, and your inherent drive to seek deeper truths have proven satisfactory. We gauge the heart before offering the path. For generations, the hooded figure continued, their voice now imbued with a deep, almost religious fervor, a passion that transcended their otherwise controlled demeanor. My organization has pursued the ultimate, current-changing artifacts. Not merely relics for display, but instruments of profound influence, capable of altering the very trajectory of human evolution. And among these, one stands paramount, an object of consuming obsession, a tool of unparalleled power and dominion, the Ring of Solomon. The air around them seemed to shimmer, charged with the intensity of their conviction. Imagine, Seeker, they began, painting a vivid picture in your mind, a king who could command not just armies, but legions of spirits, jinn of fire and air, earth and water. A king who could construct a temple not with mere stone and mortar, but with the boundless energy of the unseen. A king who could compel elemental forces, foresee the distant future, and understand the very language of creation. The Ring of Solomon was this key. It granted its wielder absolute dominion over both the spiritual and the material, allowing them to bend the world to their will. It is the ultimate expression of human potential, a divine spark brought to earth in a tangible form. To possess it is to hold the reins of destiny itself, to eliminate the blind alleys of conflict and suffering, to steer the human species towards an accelerated enlightenment, to establish an era of peace and prosperity hitherto unimaginable. It is the power to orchestrate global events from the shadows, to nudge the great ship of civilization towards its rightful harbor, to shape the very evolution of consciousness on this planet. They contrasted their vision with other approaches. The various esoteric schools, for all their noble intentions, are places of study, of personal refinement. Their methods are for individual ascent, for personal gnosis, a worthy endeavor, but a limited one when facing the grand design of human destiny. Those who seek raw power often do so for its own sake, without the strategic foresight required for true global stewardship. We exist to transcend these limitations. We are the pragmatists of the esoteric, the architects of a grander future for all humanity. We believe true enlightenment is not just internal but also external, manifested through the careful, deliberate shaping of civilization itself. And the Ring of Solomon is the ultimate tool for that shaping, the key to unlocking humanity's next evolutionary leap, to usher in a golden age, not through passive contemplation or brute force, but through active, informed manipulation of reality's deeper currents. We seek to elevate, not dominate, to enlighten, not control, for the betterment of all. But such goals require subtle, decisive action. The air in the quiet reading room felt charged, heavy with the weight of this proposition. This hooded figure represented a power far greater, far more insidious than you had previously imagined. They didn't seek to merely teach you about the world, they sought to implore you to change it. Your time machine, once a source of personal wonder and a tool for returning home, was now seen as a strategic asset, a means to an unimaginable end. The allure of the Ring of Solomon, of truly being able to influence the vast currents of human history, to elevate humankind, was undeniable. It was a tempting vision, offering a tangible purpose in this disorienting era. The hooded figure extended a gloved hand towards you, a gesture of quiet invitation, almost a silent contract. The mission is clear, Seeker. We cannot breach certain temporal barriers without your unique abilities, without your timepiece. You alone possess the means to go back to the precise historical moment, to identify the exact location within the hidden chambers beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, and to retrieve the Ring of Solomon before its influence is lost to the ages. It is a critical assignment, one that only you can fulfill. We are ready when you are. Your pocket watch, still lying on the table, pulsed with a renewed intensity, seeming to resonate with the hooded man's final words, its temporal mechanisms responding to the very idea of a journey to such a historically charged, powerfully significant location. Will you accept this critical mission? Place your pocket watch upon the table, signaling your commitment to embark on the mission to the hidden chambers beneath the Temple Mount in Jerusalem and seek the Ring of Solomon.